So here's a test. I have a little test to see, for all of us to see if we have too much Chotchky cluttering up our soul. Oh. Here's the test. If on your passport or your birth certificate, if you can find them, if it says on your passport or your birth certificate, anywhere on them, if it says anywhere, U.S. citizen. If you answered yes to that, you probably have a little bit of Chotchky in your life, a little extra stuff floating around. So what's the Chotchky factor? The Chotchky factor can bring a whole new level of peace and balance in our lives. It can actually reveal to us the true value of all that we have, both psychological, spiritual, and in our physical space. The Chotchky factor is the wisdom to see it coming before you even let it into your life. It will inspire us with new energy because everything that we become unnecessarily attached to in the physical world has a pull on our spirit. Everything. So what is the Chotchky factor, you ask? Well, I can demonstrate it with... Oops, I think I broke some Chotchky. I can demonstrate it with any of these items, and I have a good one here. This is a DVD that I bought. I went into the video store to rent a DVD, but this one was up front for sale. For the same price as renting. My goodness! I could take it home. It could be mine. How can I pass that up? Never mind the fact that I never wanted to see this movie. See, they were giving it away. I could not. Now I know what you're all thinking. What movie is it? That's mine, Chotchky. Let it go. It doesn't matter. Don't think about it. Let it go. That's not the point. Let it go, mine, Chotchky. So, I went in. They were selling this video for the same price as renting it. I said, no, that's how we've been programmed. I must buy it. But that does not take into account the Chotchky factor. Are you ready for the Chotchky factor? The Chotchky factor is a realization that everything you bring into your life, you are taking out of their valuable, precious storage space and putting it into your valuable, precious storage space. The Chotchky factor is a realization that anything and everything you bring into your life that you purchase, you will most likely, almost definitely, pay more in the cost of storage than you ever actually paid for the item. The Chotchky factor is a realization that the cost it takes to just find something, let alone take care of it, bring it with you, pack it up when you move, unpack it, and then sell it when we come to our senses, costs you more. Costs you 1,000,000 times more than the actual price of anything. You see, this is a terrible movie. I don't want it in my storage. The Chotchky factor is a realization that everything we bring into our lives, everything, we must eventually get rid of. And so we have to factor all of that into everything. Unless, of course, we want to leave it to our children. Unless you're sure, where's the best place to store it? At the video store! Let them pay for the storage. Let them worry about if it gets scratched, if sticky fingers get on it. Let them worry about his kid just having to put it in their toaster. Let them pay for all of that. You get to go in there whenever you want and just say, I'll just borrow this and I'll bring it right back. The Chotchky factor is a realization and understanding, a deep spiritual understanding, that everything we surround ourselves with, especially stuff we spend our energy bringing into our life, has a direct effect on our soul and our spirit and our energy. It does. We want to get clear. We want to see our vision. We want to open back up. You see, this video has a pull on my soul. Why? Because it's a bad movie. It's not making the world a better place. I don't want my children to see it. I'm taking it back. Even though I bought and paid for it, I'm leaving today from church, and I'm going to slip it into the return slot and run. question we have. This is the Chotchky test. Of everything you currently have in your life, everything that is currently taking your valuable, precious, wonderful storage space, you say to it as you come into that room and say, is this a room or vessel for God? You ask yourself of everything in your life, number one, do I really love it? Do I really love it? Number two, is it truly useful to me? That's it. If it doesn't pass that test, it's Chotchky. It's time to move it along. It's time to get it out into the world. Take it out and let it open up free space for your better good to come in. We have to make room for our better good, for the things of our soul to come in and find their place. We got to make room for it. Watch the magic happen as you begin to circulate the things in your life around. And guess what? Your better good might be that's waiting to come back to you. You know what it might be? It just might be free and clear, empty space. Empty space to be in, to lose yourself in, to be in peace and to find serenity in. Empty space to stop hiding from ourselves in. Because we hide behind our stuff. Free and clear, empty space. Imagine the feeling. We want to get to a place in our lives. Imagine getting to a place in your life where everything that surrounds you, you love. Everything that surrounds you lifts your soul. Why are you holding on to other stuff? Let's just get there. Let's make it our mission to surround and make it at the end of our lives that everything has been wonderful and everything then is let go. If it doesn't pass these tests, if it doesn't support your journey, this journey, support your soul, then what you need to do is go down to your local herbal store, go in, get 2 helpings of the ancient Chinese herb, give in. And get it into circulation. Watch the magic happen as your better good finds its way home to you. Watch the magic as your better good finds its way back home to you. And it may be clear space. Now here's another question. Here's another question to help us as we come to things that we think we want to bring into our life. So the question for everything is it truly worth my precious, valuable storage space in all areas of our life? Because anything we bring in takes up space in our hard drive. And that takes up space in our soul drive. The value of your precious storage space, all of it. Question number 1, another way of saying that. Here's another way of saying that, same idea. When you think you want to purchase something, you ask yourself that, and then you can ask yourself, or bringing something into your life, whatever it is. We'll get more into the intricacies of that next week. But if you want to bring something in, the other question you ask yourself is this. What is the value of lack of clutter to me? What would I place on that? Because everything we bring into your life, everything contributes to clutter. Period. In one way or another, it contributes to clutter. In one way or another, it contributes to clutter. Contributes to clutter. Contributes to clutter. Hey, go, hey, go. Chotchky factor keeps our priorities straight. Keeps our priorities straight. We get so confused. The Chotchky factor keeps our priorities straight. The Chotchky factor is a spiritual awareness of the value of your space. Now I'm going to take this for a minute to a whole other level for your consideration. Just to consider. In the country, in Bali, the culture of Bali is considered to be around the world is one of the most spiritual cultures on the planet. Many people believe it is the most spiritual culture on the planet. And it's reflected greatly in their Chotchky awareness. They have a high level of Chotchky awareness. And it's demonstrated in how they construct their lives. As an example, now this is a literal example, but we need to take it as a metaphor for what this can mean for us. In every home in Bali, whether it be a small home or a mansion, it doesn't matter. kitchen has one chopping knife. Just one. And we think, oh my goodness, how do they cut a carrot and then cut a watermelon? And what if they get a pizza? They use the same knife. They use the same. See, we've been convinced that the more the merrier. So we get this stuff, but then it's outdated a week later. We move it over here and we get more stuff, but then we can't look at this stuff. There's some part of us that thinks the more knives I have, the happier I'll be. We've let commercials and advertising convince us that we need a specialty knife for everything. Imagine, just for a moment, consider the simplicity. One knife to find, one knife to take care of, one knife to wash, one life to live, and one life to love. Imagine the simplicity and the ease of such a way. You see, in Bali, everyone considers themselves an artist. Everyone. Seriously. If you ask anyone, I do this and I'm an artist. Now, how is that? Because they have freed up so much time, energy, and space by getting rid of all clutter in their lives. That all of a sudden, there's a buoyancy. They then do their soulful pursuits, all of them, because they're not worried about all their knives. Where did I put my knives? They have freedom of soul because they refuse to allow unnecessary things and clutter take up their lives. And so they take time to pursue their soul, and they bring in some stuff in their lives that supports their soul. That'll never be Chotchky, because it supports their journey and their soul. One knife for one life. So the Chotchky factor is ultimately a soul check. It's a soul check. Do I really need this? Or do I even want this? Or have I been conditioned by materialistic